When you and I look at a question like this, we shudder and shake at fear. No numbers, everything's algebraic, pretty confusing. First of all, we're doing an IVT question, which means they got to tell us about things being continuous. And in IVT, we need something higher and lower than the value we're interested in. So one of the things Miss Taylor did, she's a nice person, she told us a little bit about maybe a formatting way of doing this. She says, if we want to know f of x equals g of x, a way to write that is that if you subtracted the two of them from each other, you actually get 0. So this could be this idea of, again, being the middle of our values. So let's show you what I mean. First of all, we have f of a is greater than g of a. So that's fine. But this can be rewritten as f of a minus g of a, so move it over to the other side of the inequality, is greater than 0. So what I've done is I moved this to the other side by subtracting it from both sides. Subtraction does not change the symbol. So I think I have successfully found one of my relationships, that this creates a value that will always be greater than 0. Now, let's look at our next character here. This one right here. Let's rewrite that in a similar way, using kind of that same technique. So we have f of b is less than, a smaller number than g of b. And if we do the same pattern and subtract that, we would get something that looks like this. That the subtraction of that would give us a number less than 0. Now, maybe you see it, maybe you don't see it. So here, we're saying these two things give us something bigger than 0. Here, we're saying these two give us something smaller than 0. So guess who's going to fit in the middle of that, right? So I'm not giving you the entire thing, but I'm giving you a start on this, that basically the IVT needs to say they're continuous over a given interval, which they're helping us with. Next, we need to basically say we know a value that is smaller than that. That's going to be our friend here. We need to know a value that's greater than that. This will always be greater than that. And therefore, we know that this value exists where f of x minus g of x equals 0, or in other words, where f of x will meet g of x. So you'll have to work out the particulars of the writing, but this definitely gives you a place to start.